The day has finally came, and so have I, because Igris is on Grand Summoners Global. And with his release finally, it's time to do a Should Ya Summon. As always, since this is a crossover, I recommend that you summon on this banner no matter what if you are a fan of solo leveling. Into that stuff, you're going to be into the game because, you're just going to have the characters you like. But if you don't care about solo leveling at all and you just want to know the meta stuff, then of course stick around for the video. That's what we're going to be discussing today. Igris has a banner mate, and that's going to be Cha. We'll be discussing her as well. But let's talk about Igris first, since he is, I would say, the most anticipated unit from this entire crossover. For one, he has a very unique race typing, being a spirit. Spirits are hardly ever countered in GS. Actually, now come to think about it, I don't know if they ever are countered in GS. Usually certain bosses have certain human, god, and demon mechanics, which is wild they have god, because if we look at the god lineup, it's pretty small. But him being a spirit is very good. It allows him to be utilized in situations where those effects are in play, right? He's also a dark unit, which benefits mono dark greatly. His entire kit is based on supporting usually a singular unit and himself, while also giving the team a little bit of extra stuff too. Like the art, being able to give the entire team damage res, but the leader unit gets more. This is very good synergy with taunt tanks if you wanted to make the leader unit a taunt tank. The true art gives dark allies 150% damage, and then you increase your own and leader unit arts by 300. The super art's able to increase your own and the leader unit's attack by 150% while reducing the enemy's physical res by 150. All this is great, but it really comes together once you get into his passive. His passive states increase allies arts by 4 per second. This is unconditional. It stacks with everything apart from the same passive from Igris. When leader unit dies, revive the leader unit with 100% HP. You will always have this arch-shinning effect active. It stacks with all arch-shin effects in the game except another Igris on the team. This means that Igris acts as a constant arch-shinning support unit for you, and the only thing it's costing you is a slot on the team. This is incredible, and if you guys, maybe don't play and don't know like what the averages and stuff is, to put it in perspective, Beta, one of the best arch-shinners in the entire game for DR and everything else, she gives you 5 arts per second on her true art while also giving you damage res. Igris is coming in here giving you art gauge passively that stacks with everybody's arts, plus gives you DR through the art. Not to mention he has defense slots, which can offer the team even more defensive capabilities. It's not saying that he power creeps Beta or anything, but just letting you know how he stacks up to kind of some of the other characters. Now, this isn't the most arch-shin we've ever seen, but this is pretty much the standard, or I would say the average, of what you would expect from a character that arch-shins, which is why this guy is going to be great for all of my new peeps. All you guys getting into the game right now, if you get Igris, you're getting kind of a very loaded package here. Not only are you getting somebody who can arch-shin for your entire team, you're getting someone who can protect your team as well through the damage mitigation. And if you get some good 5-star defense items plus a okay 4-star defense item, he's going to allow you to tank a lot of stuff that you really shouldn't be tanking at your level. But not only does he have all this damage mitigation, he's also able to supercharge himself and another unit on the team. Let's say you're using him alongside Jinnu. You could make Jinnu the leader, have Igris pop off with his true art. It supercharges Jinnu, so he has 300 art gauge. Now Jinnu can go in with his art, true art, super art, whatever he can do, and then you have 300 art gauge in Igris, which now Igris can use his art to give the DR, or use the super art to give the massive attack buff while also reducing the enemy's physical res. This is just one interaction, but he can do this with pretty much every single character in the game. And yes, I already know he does have that dark allies damage up in the kit, but don't just let that influence your entire way of thinking about this guy. He is very capable of being on a lot of different teams, even if those teams don't benefit from the dark allies damage. Now, of course, if we were to make a mono dark team with Igris, this is more in-game stuff here. I would say it's more of a vet player kind of thing. You could go the solo leveling route and run Jinnu and Igris alongside each other, and then I would say probably throw Shadow in there to get some more art gauge plus the physical res, and then I personally would probably end that bad boy off with Sword God Luan just so I can have a bit of healing, or even Halloween Forte. If you wanted to not use the solo leveling comp, you could just throw Igris literally with any old dark characters. Igris, Saido Hajime, a great duo alongside Shadow, and then Sword God Luan or Halloween Forte. So much survivability and so much arch-shin as well. And then later on, I would say Igris arguably gets better. Arguably, because he's now able to be used on a spirit lineup. Later on, we'll get a character known as Jane, which is the Spirit King. And Jane is insane with, of course, any other spirit. And with his constant arch-shinning effects plus damage ups that he does passively on the boss wave, you could use a team of like Jane, Igris, Okaroon, and then if you need some healing or something, you could go Shala there, or you could go someone like Jane, Igris, Menace, and then Shala again, or whoever you want for that last slot. That's kind of what I'm extremely excited for, because Jane, in my opinion, is one of the coolest looking characters in this game, so I would like to have all the pieces to his team, or mostly all the pieces to his team. So all in all, if I had to really sum up everything with Igris, I would say this is a character you're looking at that is a very solid S tier unit. I don't want to say he's completely broken. He's definitely not weak, but this is a very strong S tier contender here, giving you everything you could want from a defensive support while also giving you a lot of offensive capabilities. And in my humble opinion, is the prize of solo leveling. But that is not all of the characters from solo leveling. We also have Cha. Cha's gonna be our second character on the banner, and she's pretty solid. I would tell you right now, she is a bit more of a niche character than someone like Igris. Igris is a throw it on a team and you're fine type character. Cha takes a bit more thinking, a bit more planning around her kit. She specifically is really good against dark bosses. If you fight a dark boss, your team has 40% DR, just like that. You also get a barrier, an 8k barrier, which isn't too shabby. And her entire ordeal is that if an ally is under a barrier, she gives the team Arc Gauge, which is through her super art. So in theory, what you do is use the art, get the damage barrier right, get the DR against the dark boss, use the super art, arched in for everyone, and then you can also use the true art to buff up everybody's skill CT speed and equip CT speeds, constant art gauge, because she does give her entire team 20 arts on the skill. She's definitely not bad. She has some use cases, but it's a bit more specific, right? I think if there's a boss that comes out later on that is very difficult, that is a dark boss, having Cha on your light team could be really good, or just having her in your team in general could be very good and wind up making it to where you only need her to tank against this boss. Of course, if you're using her in mono light, I don't think they really need Cha, unfortunately. But hey, you know, maybe there's a place where Cha is used to over someone like Hiro Saitama in certain situations. Now we get to the verdict. Should you summon on this banner or should you skip? And I'm gonna tell you right now, I highly recommend that you guys summon for Igris. Whether you do a multi, whether you pity him, whatever you do, I would just highly encourage you to at least bare minimum do a multi-summon on the banner. It's up to you to decide if you think this guy's pity worthy or not. I'm not going to necessarily say that because I don't want to influence you guys, especially if you've been saving up a long time. You know, I mean, it's on you if you want to do that. But I would highly encourage you to definitely consider this character. He's going to be a great unit for a lot of different teams, especially if you're brand new. I think this guy is fantastic. If you're a bit older to the game, you know, more of a vet, and if you like mono dark even a little bit, having this guy is insane. Not to mention if you got Jinnu in the first part, oh yeah, finally use your Jinnu as an actual unit. So I highly recommend you guys get this unit if you care about dark, or you just want a really solid spirit character that can kind of help fill out your roster. As for me, you already heard it. I am definitely summoning on this banner tomorrow. We're going to be trying to get this guy if we can. Fingers crossed we get him, because if we do, then hey, the Jane lineup is coming together, man. Not to mention the Mono Dark team just got a mega buff with this man Igris. That's gonna be it for this one. Thank you all so much for hanging out. Tell me down below if you're gonna be summoning on this banner or you're gonna be skipping. I heard if you liked the video you get +1 luck, but that's just what I heard on the street. If you are gonna be summoning though, I do wish you all the best of luck. Hopefully you get lucky, you get them in the first pool or the first alk, whatever you do. Hopefully you get them on the first ticket. But before you leave, don't forget to drink water.